campus has given us capacity for 20 people. Now, very important that when people register for the exams, they show up because we've had cancellations.
Halo.
So it's very important to try to you're registering for the exam because the capacity is so limited that you're taking somebody's space that really might need it as far as employment or anything like that. So we do need people to, like, once they do register, that they do commit to showing up on the day of the exam. Now, the other thing we are also asking anybody taking exams is to please pay online. You know, go to the DCF webpage and pay online before you show up or after you show up, because also we want to avoid the, transmitting of anything, paper, anything like that. So if they can pay online, that would be a great help to us. Now, the other issue we've been having, people showing up late for exams. Now with this whole pandemic, people need to go to checkpoints at each one of the campuses. So at those checkpoints, basically, they're going to take your temperature and they're going to put a wristband when you're okay to go to the test room. So you got to show up a little bit earlier, because now that the campus is slowly opening up, we're on phase 2 and we do have classes now. You might have to wait a while. So, you got to take that into consideration when you're going to take an exam. Don't show up 10 minutes before the exam and think you're going to make it. No, you got to be there at least, I would say, an hour prior to the exam start time, so you can be there on time, and have all the necessary documentation that you need in order to take the exam. I have made the recommendation as well. If you need to take exams, and let's say you need to take multiple exams, try to do it all in one shot. This is the opposite message that I used to give before, because right now it's so hard to get, exams are getting filled up. We'll post an exam at 9 o'clock, by 10 o'clock, full. So, just try to take as many exams as you can, as many that you need as far as your certification, and make sure you're prepared for the exams. I have a lot of people that have been calling, oh, I took the class in 2012, and you guys, that are in the field, you guys know that as of 2018, a lot of the modules have changed. And yeah, you can take an exam, but it would be a good investment to pay that extra $10 to have a little review with the new material before you go risk yourself and go take an exam and expose yourself, and not be prepared. So that's the message really I want anybody that's taking an exam. Make sure that if you're going to put yourself out there at risk, make sure you're doing it fully prepared to take that exam and pass it. There's no need to, we're not living in the same times that we were a year ago. So take that into account. We are doing everything possible and everything according to the guidelines in order to make sure that everybody's safety, even our own staff. So everything's being cleaned, everything's being checked as far as health and safety. So, I think right now we have sessions open until November. We will be posting the December sessions. Kendall will give us another session next week. And Homestead has been giving us sessions little by little. And we've been having issues too. I want you guys to be aware. Proctors, with everything with the jobs, we've lost a lot of proctors. Kendall lost 9 proctors. These are people that go out and give exams. And don't forget that they not only give the childcare competency exam, they give any other national exam like SATs, things like that. So that really puts a bind as far as our ability and how many exams we can offer too. So we've got a lot of obstacles, but we're trying to, do the best we can in order to be able to make sure that we can provide our community with the exams they need to take. Any questions about exams before I move on to something else? I know I've been getting a lot of emails, just exams and things like that, but so that's the first topic. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about are the classes. Miami-Dade College is offering all of the DCF classes virtual. They have the staff credential, director's credential, and the 45 hours that are being offered virtually. However, I just taught a class last week, the trauma, and a lot of the people are not familiar with the whole logging on to a virtual class, what to do when something you're not being connected, how to connect via phone. So each campus is offering like, I guess it's called a taller, which I guess is something that will really help because the platform that the college is using to offer all of its classes virtually is called Blackboard. And really, I've been using so many platforms that it would be in everyone's best interest really to do the taller. So the day of the class, you're not having issues logging on with your sound. I was having a lot of students they were getting kicked out of the system back and forth when I was trying to teach. They were having trouble. They didn't know how to adjust the sound. They couldn't hear me. So I would really recommend anybody that's doing any kind of virtual class to do that 2-hour taller. And again, it's being offered in, I think, all of the campuses. And they will be covering, how to log on, how to troubleshoot, settings, all those things that, most of us know how to do. But, these are things that all of us have really had been forced to learn. Like I know I've been using so many different platforms from GoToMeeting to Blackboard to Zoom, things like that. And this platform, the one that the college is using, it's not that user-friendly like a Zoom. I know Zoom is, you just click it and you're on. So it does take a little bit more knowledge as far as how to access that class through that system. Most of the classes are being taught virtually. Kendall is the only campus that is offering virtual classes Monday through Friday. And on the weekends, it is offering face-to-face. The face-to-face basically have a capacity of maybe 10, but really our classes have been filling up with mainly just 6 people. And again, when they go to class, we're having issues with people showing up late because they forget that they have to go to a checkpoint. So, those are things you really got to take into account when you're doing the face-to-face classes. But they are filling, they are coming. Right now we have in Kendall Director's Credential class, I think that's happening, and maybe an FCCPC. And I talked to Hialeah. Hialeah campus also, I think, has one of those classes going on. Any of those numbers that you guys need as far as if it's a Hialeah campus, Jeff, I'll send you the email with all the contact information afterwards of all the coordinators for the different campuses. If anybody is looking to take any of those virtual classes at any of those campuses. And like I said, mainly the only campus that's teaching it face-to-face is Kendall. So, and then the other thing I wanted to kind of put it out there for anyone that's looking for a specific class that maybe the college does not have right now. And Jeff, this was something I wanted to run by you. Do you think a focus group would be something beneficial where we have the coordinators from the different campuses and maybe some of the directors give us ideas as far as classes that they might be interested in taking? I know trauma.
Yes, I think that would be, yes.
So we got to set that up like a Zoom meeting, and then we can have.
Yes, I'd love to. Yes.
Because we want to make sure that we're in touch with the community as far as their needs, and if something maybe the college is not offering, we can put it out there. I know the trauma in Spanish that came up today again. My conversation with the Hialeah campus, and right now DCF is doing what they can. Again, they also have new people. So I think I'm not confident that there's a lot of movement on that. I brought it up when I met with them like 3 weeks ago, but nothing like, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. They're still trying to have discussions with the author to see if that can be translated, things like that.
From my
Because
website. Can't get it.
basically, I want you guys to know that that class really, like I said, I've been offering it in Orlando, like Jeff said, and
Take
it's
a
really
exam.
a class that everybody has, and a lot of the phone calls that we've been getting is about the trauma class. They have long lines of people. We have waiting lists in Orlando that are waiting to take it. It's based on this textbook. If you guys can see it, this is the textbook and it's in English. I want to talk about this class because this class really is very good, and the people who have taken it like it. Number one, because trauma is a topic, especially now with everything that's going on with the coronavirus. It impacts homes, it impacts businesses, parents having to work out of home with children running around or having to get on a computer. It takes a lot. So those things cause trauma in the environment of the child. And basically with this class, they're gonna learn strategies that they can use to help children that are going not only through those kind of traumas, but more severe traumas like child abuse, physical abuse, abandonment. And we really focus a lot on strategies as far as, number one, how to be more observant as far as the characteristics that some of these children exhibit. It's not always misbehavior. You know, I think as teachers, sometimes we have the tendency of, you know, being judgmental as far as, okay, this is misbehavior, they're not listening to me, things like that. But the class really puts into perspective, children are reacting or behaving a certain way due to things that are going on in their home environment. And basically, this training really helps practitioners learn, number one, self-awareness. One of the things that I had the class yesterday that they really like is taking care of yourself. Because in order to be able to help with all these children and all the things that they're going through, you got to be in a good state of mind. And this class really focuses on, you know, helping your teachers kind of do a self-care plan where they are doing things that kind of they enjoy doing. Because being in this field, I don't know if you guys will agree with me, it's like you're always about everybody else. It's always about all the children, and then you come home and it's about your husband, your own children, and people forget to look after themselves. And one of the things that I teach them is like, okay, well, if you're gonna work with trauma, number one, take care of yourself. Because if you're not a happy person, I'm sorry, but you're not gonna be ready or have the stability to be able to help children that are really going through a lot of things in their lives that we have to be keen as far as how to do it and be patient and be mindful and all these terms that we've been using in the class. So it does entail a lot of self kind of analysis and doing things for yourselves. It doesn't, you know, the book, everybody's loved the book. Everybody that I've given the class, and right now I think I'm past 100 students that I've offered the class. Nobody has had no complaints about the book. The book has a lot of great resources. The part on the brain, everybody likes the way it really changes the developing of the brain and the younger they are, and talks about ACEs and all that. So I really recommend the class. It is offered virtual. This is the first time that I'm teaching it here in Miami-Dade. We have a cohort running in Kendall and we have a cohort running in North. They're kind of parallel, one's on Monday, one's on Wednesday. The only thing is, like I said, practitioners are having a little bit of difficulty kind of learning how to use Blackboard, how to log on, and it's a process. Now on top of that, and we'll see because I haven't yet gotten their first assignment, it is kind of a college level course where everything is graded based on a rubric. Now the rubric has, each assignment has its own rubric. So part of what the rubric grades is spelling, punctuation, grammar. Plus, the rubric is very specific as far as what it asks to submit. And I always tell my people, make sure you have someone who proofreads your stuff before you submit it. Number one is because for every assignment, you got to get a certain amount of points in order to pass that assignment. and you don't get your attendance marked until everything is turned in, everything meets the proper amount of points, and then you can do your CEU assessment. According to everyone, the CEU assessment, which is 25 questions, it hasn't been difficult. I've yet to hear of anybody that hasn't passed a CEU. Listen to me, and they take it in the middle of all the havoc with all the students and without the book. But I tell them that repeatedly. Make sure that when you're going to do the CEU assessment, that you have your book in front of you, no distractions. Don't forget that, like with any other CEU assessment, this one is done online. It's not a test. It's a CEU assessment you do online like you do any other class. You have 3 attempts. You have to pass it after your 3rd attempt, or else you don't get to take the CEU assessment. Also, a lot of students, even in Orlando, they don't know how to get to that CEU assessment page. So that's important for the people that are working with you, that they know how to log onto their page, how to go to the CEU assessment, because once the class is finished, don't forget, once the class is finished and everything's turned in, you have 60 days from the ending date of that course to do the CEU assessment. It's not something you can put off and think like, oh, a year later I can go in there and do the CEU assessment. No. So that's important to know. Now, the other thing that I've been having, anyone that's doing the 5-hour online trauma class, they are not doing the CEU assessment that goes with it. And then they're taking this 40-hour class, and then they're going, oh, I don't have they want the endorsement for trauma informed. To have the automatic endorsement, you need to have the 4.0 CEUs from the 40-hour, but also the 0.5 CEUs from the 5-hour class. So please make sure that you tell anybody that's taking the trauma class, the 5-hour online, to make sure they do the CEU assessment. Any class that you do online, if it offers CEU assessment, you lose nothing by taking the CEU assessment unless it's a 40-hour. So send that message across. Any online class, do the CEU assessment, you lose nothing. It's like a really kind of like a checking of your comprehension of the material. So any questions you guys have about the trauma class?
Yes, this is Louise. I have a question about the online class, because I sometimes communicate with providers and staff that have taken the class, but they forgot to do the assessment, but then time has passed. So how do you need to take it all over again? Or is there another way to get the 0.5 CEUs? Can you explain how that works?
Okay, I've had a discussion with DCF about that, because there are a lot of people that took it back in 2018, 2019, and they're like, oh, nobody told me about the CEU assessment. And basically their message to me is like, once you've done a course, there's no way to go back and do the CEU assessment. You can't retake it. So in order to get the renewal, you would have to take another 5-hour 0.5 CEU course. That's basically what they've been telling me. There's no way to take it again. There's no way, unless that changes. Jeff, have you heard anything about that?
No, that's what my understanding is, just like yours at the moment, Sam. I will double check. I've got a meeting coming up with Ms. Frazier and Eddie, but that's how I still understand it.
Yeah, I wish, hopefully DCF reconsiders that, because this is such a new topic that people really didn't know at the time. Because I do have a lot.
It kind of caught everybody a little off guard.
Yeah, and they want the endorsement, because they're like, well, why am I taking the 40-hour if it's not going to give me the endorsement? But you're like, okay, well, you're basically doing the renewal, but they want the endorsement.
You're right, and that was what was pushed. If you remember, when this was rolling out, this was pushed for everybody because getting that endorsement, a provider having that endorsement was a marketing tool, if you will, to to say that at my center, my staff or we have people here that are trained so that we can handle a lot of issues that that come up. I think it's especially important now with the pandemic that we're dealing with. But I agree that I think the whole thing kind of caught people off guard. So I know from a DCF standpoint, are trying to make that a little smoother because that's the whole purpose of having the endorsement, going through the courses and everything, and having that endorsement, so that a parent seeing that will be more comfortable or feel that that center will be best suited for their needs style.
I'm gonna talk to Claudia like under the radar and just put it out there because I know I've had a lot of students complain about that. Oh, but I really want the endorsement. And like I told you, it was something so new that people are just used to taking classes for in-service and they just, or their directors told them to take it, but they never really, and a lot of them, Jeff, really don't know about the CU assessment. That's the weird thing is like, even the ones from Orlando that are a little bit more in the field and all that, because they have the Early Learning Coalition that really works, they didn't know about that. I had to teach them how to go to a CU assessment page and everything. And even yesterday, they're kind of shy, it's weird. I'm like, okay, because at the end during class, I go, okay, if any of you guys need me to show you how to get to your CU assessment, let me know and I'll do it here in class. Nobody said anything. And then I get an email, hi, I was embarrassed, but can you please show me how to do it, and so that's something really, like I said, a lot of people, they feel like, oh, they should know because they're in the field so long, but there's nothing wrong with asking, and especially right now with the trauma endorsement, like I don't see why they shouldn't just open it up, again, let them retake it. What if they're gonna pay $10, let them retake it and get the CUs.
Yeah, that certainly is a good topic for discussion, and that's why I told everybody is that Sam is not just a coordinator; he's a professor. So when I remember in my college days, you had professors like you that were very helpful, and that's why we want to always take advantage of that. And I encourage everyone that's on this Zoom call is to make sure you reach out to Sam, make sure. Because it will help you in the end, not just for yourself and understanding, but also to provide excellent quality services to the children in care. And, and right now, because of this pandemic, parents are very picky and choosy about where they want to send their children. And a lot of parents, from my conversations with them, look for things like that. So I know it is more, but I think that because we're in early learning, every bit of certification and endorsement that we have, that you have as providers, helps you, your team, your business, and the children that we serve throughout the community, and especially in our Liberty City community. So I encourage everybody, and yeah, there are some kinks there, but we can work those out, and we're constantly working those out from a state standpoint. So I will be bringing that up, but I do think it's important, and for people to have these, because as there are fewer centers, people look for those things, those kind of certifications and endorsements. Yeah, Sam, someone just mentioned, it was true. Yeah. They said they think the training should be for everybody, not just the directors or, the frontline staff, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree. Especially once you really start delving into what you need as far as characteristics of the people working with kids. It's really eye-opening. Like I was telling my class, when I first read the book, I really brought back a lot of memories of children that went through my classroom. Because I worked up in Montessori school, but it was a Montessori that was homeschool. And a lot of my kids, I had 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, and it really brought back a lot of names to my head of children that went through me that had trauma, that displayed some of the behaviors there. And it's like, to me, I was like thinking, I wonder how this kid is doing now. I wonder what I could have done different. I wonder if I could have made a bigger difference, a bigger impact. You know, because I can see, the good thing about me is that I also was able to live that experience with the little ones. And really in that environment and with trauma, a lot of the stuff that I've seen in books, and I've read a lot of different books on trauma, is knowing how important a person, the impact that they can have on a child's life, and how gratifying that is when you can, you know, a lot of people that take these classes, they'll tell you, oh yeah, like they've been in the field so long, and 30 years down the road, they'll run into a child that they've had that's now like 20, 22, and they go to that person and say, wow, you really made a difference in my life. I'm where I am now because of you. And those are the kind of people that we want in the field. Those are the kind of people that make this field so rewarding, because it definitely is not the monetary thing. It's got to be more about you know, what you feel inside. So, you know, hopefully this is a course that, you know, again, don't forget, little by little, it's the word getting out about the class. And yeah, we are working towards maybe eventually having a Spanish textbook. Some of the activities I want to tell you, like at the beginning, some of the complaints were that the work was too much. But if you really look at the assignments that are there, one of them is a self-assessment where you look at your center and you see how trauma-informed prepared it is. That to me, a director does every day. The other one is a self-care plan, which I told you guys, that's important because it gives you an awareness of, am I taking care of myself? Even for the directors themselves, they got to look at themselves and go, okay, am I doing things in my life to make me a happy individual? Because that's the only person really that's going to be ready to help other individuals, your team, your teachers, as well as your children. The other assignment is strategies. Strategy implementation, which basically during the class, the book is so full with the strategies that you can use with the children that it basically just, okay, I use this strategy, it worked, these were the challenges I had. That's the other assignment. The other one's a child study. Child study is very important because in this, working with trauma, you gotta be observant. You gotta be observing, you gotta have like a scientific mind as far as, okay, this kid is displaying this trauma, what can I do? How can I help them? So I'm gonna use this strategy, I'm gonna use that strategy. So it's really something that you being the director, you need to know how to pass that on to your trainers. And then the last assignment basically is a presentation. And my people have done such an awesome job with their presentations. Like honestly, all the presentations I've had, they give me ideas, they really excel. And that's what I like to see is like they learn something from the course and they learn how to, you know, disseminate that information to their teachers or to their parents, because that's what I want. And that's what being a director is, being a leader, you know? And so I don't really see the assignments being that difficult, you know, but it is a worthwhile course. It is a course that really has a lot of merit. And little by little, you know, I've got a whole bucket full of resources from Trauma Informed that, you know, I tell them, you know, it's basically you have to kind of be able to have resources and, you know, build them up. Like I shop a lot on eBay. I try to get better deals so I can have, you want to have your center prepared with all those resources and teach your teachers how to use them when they do come across a child that they suspect might be going through traumatic events, you know, in their lives. So yeah, I would recommend it to anybody. I mean, and teach, don't forget, teach will pay for the class. if you meet whatever requirements. Here in Miami-Dade, really, we haven't had a lot of scholarships from Teach. Carolina in Orlando, I think all our people use Teach. But here, basically, it's through the Early Learning Career Center that gives them scholarships. I think all the people that I've taught here in Miami-Dade have come through them. All of them, I think, right now. But Teach scholarships, they can go for Teach scholarships. So if you're looking to take it in January, I would start already applying for the Teach scholarship because they'll pay for it. And it takes about a month. That's what I think I've heard, about a month for them to process everything and to get you approved. And we are looking for January already, if I'm still alive. January, it's gonna be our next cohort.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, Sam, I appreciate the, you know, and it's something, and especially coming from you as the coordinator for the Southern region for all of this training of how important it is. And sometimes I know it's true because of the, you know, none of us that are in this field are in it to become millionaires, but we're in it to change lives and change little ones' lives. And if there's ever been a time for us to really step up to the plate and accept the challenge, it's during this pandemic. I really appreciate what you were sharing about, because a lot of times we forget, because in this industry, we're caregivers in a sense. We're looking out for little, but it's also very important to look out for ourselves. And I think, you know, the trauma, having that endorsement, but also understanding it from a director standpoint, it's taking care of yourself, taking care of your team, your teachers, and therefore being able to take care of the children that are in your care while they're there. You know, I use the term, and sometimes people don't understand it. I call it the 3 C's, which is care, custody, and control. And it sounds like, you know, you're talking about, what do you mean care, custody, and control? That's you know, is that a prison term or anything? But it's not, because when those children are in your center or your home, you are there to care for them. And technically speaking, they're in your custody. I mean, the parent doesn't sign off that you have custody of the child, but they're in your space, they're in your center. So you are a custodian, if you will, of those little people. And you have the ability to control the environment. So I think it's very important to be able to understand that and take advantage of certainly trauma-informed care. And I agree with you, Ms. Bola. I think that, you know, it should be something that be spread out throughout all staff. But I think, like what Sam was saying, is that, you know, you get that endorsement, you can certainly make sure that your staff are aware of it and have the tools to at least help them and know who to call if it is something that is beyond, you know, what we can do, and to stay informed, because this pandemic that we're experiencing is going to be like this for a while.
Yeah.
So, you know, and so I do like, Sam, when you mentioned about the focus group. And, you know, I'm going to be looking for some of the directors on this particular Zoom to be part of that. And you and I, Sam, and Louise will be, you know, discussing that further so that we can also make sure that there are courses and things that may be more relevant to the to this particular area, but also in the Southern region. So I do appreciate that passion that you have, Sam, and also explaining that to everyone. Ms. Daniels, I see you there. Hello.
Hello. Listen, this has been a phenomenal training. Mr. Samuel, thank you very much. The information, just keeping us on track and on task. And I want to say to Mr. Hurst and to Miss Louise, thank you so much. I'm so proud of all of the providers that are on. Good morning to you all, or afternoon to you all. I'm so happy to see all of you on here. And I just want to continue to let you know that Miami Children's Initiative is here to continue to support you. Miss Shirley, I hope you were able to see yourself on YouTube. And we're looking to see how we can come back. We announced about 2 months ago that we want to do video presentations of each of your early learning sites, and Miss Shirley was one of our first. And so please sign up, providers, with Jeffrey or Miss Louise, so we can feature the fact that you have endured this pandemic, that your doors are open, that you're surviving, and that you're still a quality resource available to the children and families of Liberty City. And I know some of you are outside of some of you are in Miami Gardens, some of you are in South Miami, but we're happy to be a support to you. So thank you for this moment, Jeff. Congratulations again to you all. And I look forward to continuing this training process. I am now a student at Miami-Dade in the Kickstart program, Mr. Sam. And so I am trying to go through this process like many of these veterans already who have gone through their credentialing training. I don't want to just sit at the table and have a conversation with a title, but I want to be able to have conversation with you, our providers, from a standpoint of education. So I don't want to have any expectations or thoughts of you that I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm now trying to go through the whole credentialing and CDA process myself so that I understand how to better meet your needs. And so good morning again. Have a great day, guys. And thank you again, Mr. Samuel, for such a great presentation.
You're welcome. Welcome. Take care.
Thank you, Ms. Daniels. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, one more thing I want to say before I go, and this is personal experience too. This whole pandemic really brought to light the importance of technology. I'm talking about personal because you guys, like I told you, I've been using so many different platforms. Even the college had such a hard time at the beginning with our teacher. Our teachers weren't ready for online, virtual. It was a challenge, and we're still having challenges. Classes having to be canceled because sometimes they're not ready or the teachers aren't ready. So we want our people really to start kind of using more technology. It's important because, like Jeff said, we don't know how long this pandemic's gonna be. We wanna, and this has really taught us a good mode to communicate, even with our meetings, with our provider meetings, with our licensing meetings. So we gotta teach our people how to use this resource, how to use the different platforms, how to create things online, do research online, because it is really important. And this really, I think one of the things about the pandemic that's come out is like, yeah, we do kind of need to be a little more prepared because we don't know what's coming tomorrow. So really, really push people to learn about technology, how to use technology. It's something that's going to benefit everybody. As a teacher and as a student and everything. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, Sam, I have a question about you talked about the assessment for the CEUs. I know there are providers in this meeting that are in the classes that you mentioned from Kendall and North. And just like you said, I wanna ask if you can do a demonstration for them how to get to the CEO in the next classes that's coming up, so that everybody is on the same page and they can follow through with whatever the course requirements are, so that they don't get lost, but we strengthen their way of developing their plan in their centers.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we can do that. We can set that up.
Maybe I want to open the floor for the participant and see if they have any question for you. So if you have a question and you want to
Yes.
address it to Sam, you could, I can unmute you, or you can unmute yourself and talk about things that maybe you didn't understand well. It's always good to ask questions and we say we don't know. Okay, so is anyone that want to say something, unmute yourself and you can ask questions. Thank you.
Everybody's shy.
Well, since they don't answer, I will point out to people because that's what I'm supposed to be doing too. Encourage people to speak. You know, we need to speak. We need to learn how to speak. So I'm gonna call somebody by the name of.
I have a question.
Sure. See, there we go. Okay,
The
you're not on video, but we can listen.
40-hour trauma class, is that class virtual or is it in person? I
Right
know
now,
the go ahead, I'm
Right.
sorry.
right now, and I think for the time being, it's going to be just virtual.
Okay.
And if you're interested in that class, I would contact, her name is Gloria Lambert, and her phone number is 305-237-2876.
Can I repeat that? 305-237-2876.
Correct. And then the next cohort would probably be in January, because since right now we have the holidays and everything, it will probably be in January, because yeah, we don't want any kind of, there's too many holidays coming up, so
Okay.
we gotta wait.
Thank you.
Okay, good morning. My name is Mary Martin. I would like to ask a question to you, Sam. I've taken the trauma course in the STEM program under the United Way. Do it have an expiration date?
The
Do I
trauma,
have to yeah, the trauma care, I took it already, the hours, because I just finished my first course. I'm in the Kickstart program to getting my director credential. And is that one of the things I have to complete it?
you'd have to send me whatever certificates you have, and I'll look them up to see if they can be uploaded into the system, to see if it is the same
Okay,
class.
can I send my transcript, or you
Yeah,
want me to
send me
send
that.
it? Okay,
Send me that.
do
And
you
my
have an email address?
Yeah, it's S as in Sam, O
Mhm.
as in orange, R as in red, E as in
Mhm.
elephant, the number 1,
Mhm.
at
Mm-hmm,
M as in Mark, D as in dice,
mm-hmm,
C as in car, dot, E
mm-hmm.
as in elephant, D as in dice, and U as in umbrella.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, this is the time, guys, because Sam is sometimes he's just so busy. So like I said, I appreciate you coming on and being here for us, Sam. But now's the time, folks, to ask Sam your questions, because believe me, when he finishes here, everybody and their grandfather from all over the state is going to be trying to nail him down. And now's the time to get the information that you need, or any questions that's lingering there that you may not quite understand. We have him here front and center, and so now's the time to pull on his ear.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Sam. Good morning, everybody. This is Miss Josephine from Bola. Mr. Sam, my question for you regarding the trauma-informed care. I have an assistant that would like to take the 40 hours. Does she have to have a director credential?
To take the course?
Yes.
Well, she can take the class. However, if she doesn't have the directive, a lot of the directors are taking it for renewal purposes.
Yeah, which is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Mine is not for renewal, but this year said we have to have it to renew our license.
Because your assistant could take it. I mean, there would be no harm in that, and I think she could learn a lot.
Yeah, I've been talking to her about it, and she's so excited because I am so excited in everything I've been reading myself. So, but for me, I like to tell people what I've learned, but people learn differently. So I always like people to sit in the class by themselves to learn, because what may be of importance to me may not be important to them. And since everybody have different ways of absorbing information, some people like you to tell them face to face. So
Yeah, have her contact Gloria.
Gloria,
And if she's really interested, yeah, like in January, we would probably have another cohort or
okay.
two, depending on how many people. And if she wants to go ahead and apply for the Teach scholarship, to do it that way.
Okay, so she can go and, okay, so before the class starts.
Yeah, it should give her enough time for January to process that. I think it takes about a month to get that approved.
Okay. Another thing I would like to say, I would like it to be offered to all the teachers, because the teachers will be able to ask questions that they want to know. For the directors teaching them, it's okay, but everybody is different. That's just my own situation. Everybody learn differently. Everybody is different.
Yeah. I think right now, honestly, most of the, I think all of the people that have taken it have been directors. But the state does say it's open for anybody that wants to take it because it is beneficial. And like you said, yeah, people assimilate information differently, and some things that might be important to one person might not be important to the others. They might kind of, this class does have a lot of different aspects as far as, perspective. So, just see if they can apply for Teach, whoever is interested. But I do know the directors are the ones mainly taking the course.
Okay, hi. My name is Sheree Cato. I have a question. I know that you said that the trauma informed is for anyone that's renewing their director's credential, but is it for renewing license as well through Department of Children and Families?
No, not to renew your license. Right, Jeff? Not to renew license.
Yeah, no, it's, no, that's, the director's informed is completely, the trauma informed is separate. You do not need it to renew your DCF license. The only thing that you must have to renew your license for DCF would be a current fire, their certificate of use. The director has to have their current director credential and their level 2 screening, the affidavit of good moral character, the abuse and neglect form, those types of things. But that particular class is not needed to renew the license.
Well, I am so sorry. That's what I heard. But I'm glad I'm taking the class, because my license is not due to be renewed. My director credential is not due to be renewed until 2024. But so that's what I heard. That it's good to do it, because when DCF come, they want to know, have you done the class? So I was getting the wrong information.
Jeff, you're muted.
Jeff, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Sorry, how about now? Yeah, in my DCF account, my email, there is a piece on there, and I know Sam has seen it, where it talks about trauma-informed care. It is something that they are pushing. I will double check, but I don't have any information where you must have that in order to renew your license. But they are pushing it because, like Sam said, the reason it's being pushed is because this was actually being pushed prior to the pandemic, because those of us that are in the childcare industry are the first ones that are in the position to see some issues that may be going on with children. And if they are addressed early, it will prevent issues when they get into kindergarten all the way to high school.
And
So that's
adulthood.
why it's pushed because, yes, and adulthood. And that's why it's pushed in early learning. And it is recommended. I'm going to tell you, I've been telling people, take it. This is things have changed. And like Samuel was just saying, this isn't necessarily, oh, let me do this to get my hours. When the more informed that you are as a provider, the better you can direct some of the children, because I agree. And I know that some of the teachers that I had when I was very little made a positive impact, just like some not so positive, but the majority of them has been positive. So, but I will double check to see if that language is anywhere. But to my knowledge, on this day, it isn't. But because the license renewal is one thing, you must have a valid director's credential in order to keep going without getting a provisional license.
Right. Okay. So Mr. Hurst, I know a provider that she was trying to renew her DCF license, and they told her that she needed the 40-hour trauma-informed course in order for her to renew her license. And this is with DCF. And also it was adopted back January of 2019.
Let me leave you alone.
There are certain courses that are needed, when for your, for either, you have to have certain courses, but was this in Broward or was this in Dade County in the southern region?
In Dade County.
Okay,
and
well,
it stated on there that you have to have the 40 hours that was adopted back in 2019 in order for you to renew your license. So I don't know if it's for some or for all, but
to renew your DCF license, or you're talking about your director's credential?
your DCF license.
Hey, Mr. Hurst, this is Ms. Walker.
Yes, Ms. Walker.
Okay, we were just renewed within over at Shades number 1 within the last month, and we were not required to have that class as of yet, but it was suggested. They were saying that it is up and coming, but it was not. We just renewed. I don't know who she might have had there or where, but I was informed that we should all take the course because that will at a later time become a requirement. But like I said, we just got our license, and he was out and he did everything, and we got him. We just sent him over to contracts, and we were fine with it. So just I don't know where she could have gotten that from right now. So
Yes, thank you, Ms. Walker, for sharing that. Yeah, I do know, as I said, there is a push. Before I retired almost a year ago, I can't believe that. The time is flying. That was being trauma-informed care, and Sam can vouch, it is being pushed because of the importance of it. So it is my recommendation, speaking of DCF, is to get that done, is to do it. At what point somebody may make it, because there are a lot of things down the pike that they're talking about. We're eventually going to get to a place where you won't be able to turn in your packet to DCF. Everything is going to be virtual and it's going to be online. And if it's not correct, it's not even going to take. So you're not going to have to go downtown and all that. So a lot of things are changing, and it's quite possible that this is something that is down the pipe and they want people to do it now instead of having a mad rush at the end. But I, again, agree with you, Ms. Walker. I haven't heard anyone say that they needed it now. They may be telling you that to get you to take it. But, and I encourage everyone that can to take it. Like Sam was saying, for some of those things, they're so far out now. Now is the time to start planning for it and get on that roster and to try and get it done. But I will double check, but I'm not aware that it is needed to renew the license. But we will always double check, and I always appreciate everybody's input because we want the correct information. Thank you.
Guys, and I want to reiterate the point that when I read the book and when I went through the material, everything to do with trauma, it was really, when I first stepped foot into a kindergarten classroom, I was lucky. My parents always took care of me, very good care of me. I always went to school with breakfast, clothes, very well dressed, everything was taken care of. The children that were in my classroom didn't have that benefit. I had 4-year-olds that came, no breakfast, clothes full of holes, sometimes smelling like urine. Those kids were going through a lot, and they didn't have that person at home that really helped them be resilient and overcome this trauma. They actually might have been causing more trauma. That's why this class really, like Jeff said, it's something that you really highly suggest, because in the past, when a child has been misbehaving in the classroom, we've taken it like misbehavior, but there's more to behavior than that. There's things in the environment triggering that behavior, things that are going on in the home life. That's why this class makes such a, it really makes such an importance about knowing about trying to find out what's going on in the home, making connections with the home, because that's the only really way to make an impact and help this child overcome what they're going on at home. That, you know, basically in the past, we've just kind of been judgmental. That's misbehavior, but no, there's more to that. And like I said, this can carry on into adulthood. It can lead to early death. It can lead to, you know, not reaching your potential. So this class does make an impact. And like Jeff said, the earlier you help and you change the trajectory of a child's life, it really, you know, you see it. And that's why they're really pushing this class so much.
Thank you, Sam.
Well, thank you, Mr. Sam, and thank you, Mr. Jeff. Thank you, Ms. Walker, for clarifying that. So that was what was on my mind, because my license is due to be renewed in February. So I've been rushing. Oh my God.
Yeah, don't rush.
So I know I'm in the class, I'm enjoying it, but thank you for that clarification, because that take a big load off my head. Oh my God, why are they pushing this on us now?
Yeah.
But we have so much on our plates.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. And yeah, yes, you do. And I appreciate you all being here. And that's why we're trying to make sure that you have as many resources available to you to get you through this process. And because I'm going to tell you, without childcare providers like the ones that are on here and those that aren't, we have a lot of parents, single moms, single dads, grandparents who have to work or are essential, and they need a safe place where the child, not to babysit, but that child is going to thrive, learn. And I know that for a lot of you, like Sam had mentioned, for a lot of you, sometimes the best meals that the little ones that we take care of are inside your center. And I know that, and it breaks my heart, because there's some of you, I won't say any names, where I know that come Friday, I know some of you have packed a little extra food and things so that child can have enough to get to your Monday class. And I know that, and you know, it's something that people don't always talk about. Those are the real issues for me, that, you know, the children have to be fed, they need to be educated, because they are our future. When we are no longer here, you know, they're the next mayors, teachers, police officers, possible president. That's our future, and we have to cultivate it and get these and help these children along the way, like a lot of us were helped, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. So I applaud you for that. And one of the reasons we're here is to make sure you get the best information, the correct information, and utilize all the resources that we have, because these are trying times right now. And I applaud you all for getting through it. I know some of you have just stepped up. You've adjusted your sails so well to keep from tipping over. It's amazing, you know, to navigate these uncertain waters that we're in and continue to be in. So I applaud you. I thank you for being here. I can't express to you enough the importance of you staying connected. As you know, I've been sending out, I sent out a Tuesday tidbit. I've been sending out stuff now twice a week. And Sam, just to let you know, I sent out yesterday to the providers, the Department of Health has got, they're doing this little thing for some of the centers. It's free. And you have until November 15th. I sent it out in the email. You can register and they will do assessments, but also your center will then get placed that it's a safe place for children to be. And it's just one more thing that can help some of you there. I think they're looking for like 10, but I sent it out yesterday as soon as I got wind of it so that the providers could take it. Like I said, it's free. Yes, it takes a little of your time, but again, it gives you a little certification or something that may help a parent make a choice. And I think it's good. So we just have to keep looking for the information. Sam, I cannot thank you enough for everything that you've always done for childcare in the Southern region. And they've even pulled them into other regions now. But Sam is a great resource. He's very helpful. He's the one that teaches everybody. He's a professor. So please make sure you reach out if you have questions. You can also contact Ms. Salins, myself. But thank you for being here. And before we let Sam go, now's the time, if you've got any other questions, to ask him. And I really appreciate you taking the time with us, Sam. So now's the time to ask him, folks.
Last thing that I also just came to my mind, don't forget that December is coming up. And as far as exams, there's 2 weeks where the college is closed, so there won't be exams after, I think it's December 19th until January. So keep that in mind for anyone that needs to take exams. To kind of try to, you got to be on there every day to look to see when exams are available, because I said, due to the pandemic, we do have limited capacity. So try to register for those exams as possible. Okay. Yeah, Crystal. Yeah, like you need to look every day. As far as I know, we have some exams we haven't posted. I talked to my exam coordinator this morning. So you have to, like, the only thing I can say is really check in the mornings, like at 8 in the mornings, to see what exams are available that need to take any competency exams. We're still waiting for December dates. So Kendall's supposed to give us another one for December. I think that hopefully it'll be a 30 capacity. Again, please also remind people that when they go take the exams, they will need to wear their face masks. So to keep that in mind. So that shouldn't be a problem. I think we're all getting used to the face masks by now.
This is Louise. I have a suggestion for either Jeff or Sam. I mean, maybe we might call you back for another as an invite in the new session that will start, so that it's always like new people coming in, and then maybe you can go back and emphasize on the importance, but it's gonna be maybe when a new session starts, or so that you can let us know when and how things are developing. But we would like to see you again as our guest.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, just let me know. I only have in November a conference coming up for Orlando again, but I think it's November 13th. I gotta check with the dates. I'm not even sure. I've got so many things like.
Okay, but
yes.
Yes.
I'll be glad to.
And this is for the providers and all our participants and guests. I'm just sending like a invite to all of you all over again. So we learn all about the information, but it's good to share the information. So I would ask from providers, guests, anyone that participated today and who couldn't make it, please share this information. And if you have a friend or a co-worker or a co-director that is not on our listing, please send me their names and I will put them on our invite list. The more we know, the more we become aware, the better we can do our job. So this is a call to all of us. So think about it. When you hear things, you say something. When you want to know something, there are professionals out there that can reach out to all of us, and we can bring them to the table, be our guests, and we can learn from what is coming up. So, so that's my message to all of you for those who are attending today. And I will follow up with those who did not attend, that there's still information that they need to know about. And Jeff is the one also that sent weekly updates and confirm and all kinds of information, so that we are up to date in this kind of work, and we all prepared. That's most of all, that we all prepared. Jeff?
Thank you, Louise. Yes. And also just to share with you all, like last Friday, I sent out the latest emergency orders from Mayor Carlos Jimenez. And I also sent a copy of the new normal handbook that specifically there's a section that deals with childcare. Please read that information, because remember, even though you fall under the rules and regulations of the state, we are still in an emergency. There's still an emergency order from the mayor, and some of the ratios and things are more stringent, and they are actually coming out and doing inspections. And I don't want someone to get fined from the county level, or even have them close your center down because you're not following the county guidelines. And I know it can be crazy trying to juggle the two, but that's why Ms. Salins and myself are here. That's why you have Samuel, that you can reach out for your training. Stay informed. I try and send out this because I know that you guys are busy and may not have the time to go and look at the latest orders or the latest stuff. So that's why twice a week I send the Tuesday tidbits, just to tell you something that I've come across that may be of benefit to you, and then an update every Friday about what's going on and things to look out for, just to keep you informed. And keep this in mind. Sometimes some people may say, well, how come some of the providers are outside of the core? Well, let me tell you, because people have moved around. A lot of people were moved out of the Liberty City area, and those children are now in Miami Gardens. They're in North Miami Beach. Some of them are in Goulds and as far as Homestead. So one of the ways to assist them is to have providers from all over, so that we still don't lose the ability to teach and help the families with some of the things that they were being helped with when they were directly in the Liberty City area under MCI. So just keep that in mind. We're reaching out to everybody because children and families have spread out, and we want the same information across the board to help them. Like Sam said, catching them now will make a difference in their lives, and so this is crucial. And again, I thank everyone for coming, and that's it. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say or add or share with us that they're doing that's special, that may be of help?
Not even a birthday? Well, we cannot forget it. I just thought about this. So, we need to start recognizing our good people out there. Maybe we don't know who they are, but just in case there was a birthday for the month, congratulations, happy birthday, keep going. And if there's anything, those are fun stuff to share. We're supposed to have fun as well.
Yeah.
So find a good thing to share. I don't know, maybe you put a new garden in your school. You could share that. You could send us a video of it. So that's our documentation that, little clips like that bring joy to all of us, because I would love to be in the schools, but I can't go to the schools. I mean, I can go, but they will meet me at the door, so I used to be very going to the school like on a daily routine. I can no longer do that. I have to respect the rules of the schools. So since I cannot be there, so you send me a clip, a circle time, a reading time, like I used to do before. You know, all those fun stuff, the activities in the classroom with the teachers, so that we know life goes on, but we need to be happy as well, you know? So happy birthday to all providers who had a birthday, to staff who attending this meeting. I know staff, certain providers are always making sure that the staff are informed and they have them on our call as well. So anything, you know?
I have something to share, please.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, guys, so this Saturday from 10 to 1, I'm hosting my 3rd annual Woman Empowering Women for Excellence conference. And one of the conference actually highlights the 4 components to making us holistic. You know, like Sam was saying, talking about self-care, that's something that us women don't usually do. And when we talk about self-awareness, it comes in terms of who you are and how you identify yourself. And if you don't know who you are, then how can you be a leader? How can you be an effective childcare professional? So in the conference, we talk about the 4 pillars that makes women holistic, which is self-awareness, financial literacy, leadership, and health and wellness. So I hope if you can attend, the event is registered. It's on Eventbrite. And again, it's free and it's going to be streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. And you will be surprised. There are 2 people in Liberty City who will be receiving the Heart Award from us this year. We have 4 recipients and 2 are coming out from Liberty City.
Awesome.
Thank you, Luis.
Thanks, Arlene. That was awesome.
See, we have good story to tell.
Yeah. Remember, guys, we in this field, we really need to network, and we want to support each other, and we want to be a resource as far as ideas. That's one of the things I always try to promote in the classes, like especially with the directors. You guys got to talk, network, help each other. There's so many things out there that we all need to kind of connect with that some of us might not know. Grant writing is always something I always tell people in the field. Learn about writing grants, learn about how you get resources in your centers, and that you get a lot of information. That's only good. The bad thing about the not having face-to-face, like when they're like all in the classroom, they start talking, directors start talking, getting each other's phone numbers, getting ideas, even looking for employees. So we want to build that amongst here in Miami, and we want to make a solid union as far as all of us working towards the same goals. So don't be afraid to reach out, to network with each other, because that's the only way to really help this field kind of grow and be better each day.
That is so true, Sam. Thank you so much for those words. I told you he was a professor. Some of you didn't believe me, but we're hearing that.
And Jeff, let me know when the next meeting will be and I'll schedule it. And we'll also work on the focus group, because that would be good to hear ideas as far as what we need to, what kind of training we can kind of create.
Definitely, and I'm going to be looking for some providers on here to participate in that group, because this is an opportunity for you to have some input in possible classes and training that are specific needs. So I thank you for that, Sam. I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to come out and share your wisdom and knowledge. I tell everybody, you all just don't know how much Sam knows. And, you know, something that I didn't even know of, you know, your involvement in Montessori and all of that going back. And that's why you're passionate about this, and you want people to do well, because you know that the more education that we as providers, that people that are involved in the early learning aspect of the southern regions, and specifically here, the Liberty City and outlying areas of how important it is. So I got to learn that about you today, but I thank you for coming out. I thank you for agreeing to come out even again. People don't understand, to corner Sam and to get Sam here is a big deal because he's busy. And I mean, they're trying to steal him up in Orlando. So I thank you for being here. I thank the providers. Miss Louise Salins, I cannot thank you enough for your, I want to say, you know, met Louise when I was working for DCF. And she's always been on point and always wanted to make things for the providers to have all these different opportunities. And I thank you all for being here. So again, you all take care. I will be sending out information regularly. Look out for it. And Sam will get in touch and we'll share that information. You're going to send me those names and numbers, and then I'll send that out to everybody as well.
Okay, Jeff. Everybody take care. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. You too, Sam. Anybody want to say anything? Miss Salins?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
MCI.
much.
Sam, thank you, everybody.
Be safe.
You too,
This
guys.
one-
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a blessed one. Take care.
You too, everybody. Stay safe. Reach out to us if you need anything.
Miss Lambert. Bye.
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 Bye. Yes.